All right, y'all. We're trying this again. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, if you don't like cleaning up in the kitchen, but you want a good full meal, this segment of In the Kitchen with Krystal is for you. I am Krystal Taylor, the owner and CEO of Fitness is Not a Game. And today we are making garlic, lemon, salmon, and veggies in one pan. I started in another video, but I found out there was no audio, so I jumped on over, came back in. If you are here with me now, say hey, let me know that you can hear me. Hopefully everything is working well now. What I did was is I preheat my oven to 400 degrees, got me some salmon. And what I did was I made a good marinade. When a marinade sauce is type thing, I used a little extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of that. I added in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and then and the juice of 1 lemon. So from there, then I added my seasons. I added some thyme, I added some oregano, I added some garlic and herb season so that I can brush that onto the salmon. So now I'm cutting up zucchini. You can use whatever vegetables you like. I'm doing zucchini. I think I'm going to do some peppers, do some green beans, and do some broccoli because why not have all the green things, right? So I'm going to do this whole zucchini and I'm just cutting them into crescent shape. So I just cut it in half, then length, longwise, and then I am just slicing it so that you get the crescent shape. And the cool thing about zucchini is that it does not take a long time to cook. That's one thing I love about it, and it is one of those vegetables that has a lot of water in it. So you get you a little extra water, all right? So that's the last thing you probably have to chop up. Now, actually, some of these peppers, and I'm actually, because I keep a lot of peppers that's cut up and frozen in my fridge or in my freezer, because I never know when I'm going to need and or want some peppers. So I'm grabbing the colorful ones, because we have so many green vegetables, right? And green vegetables are great for us. But our bodies, our bellies, like all the senses to be engaged. So even having brighter colors, a multitude of colors, our bodies like that, right? It's our bellies are already prepping for it to be a good meal, because it's so all of these senses are like, okay, it smells good and now it look good, so it's probably gonna taste good. So I just have a bag of frozen grain beans, throwing those up in there, and then I am going to get my frozen broccoli. And again, you can get all of the fresh items that you would like, but I buy frozen because they are just as fresh, if not fresher, since they are flash frozen at peak ripeness, right? Peak nutrient. When you get your peak nutrient, but you can get your fresh as well. You know what? This is, hey, I may as well use all of these, because why not? And then we can see, hi. Thank you for being my 990th subscriber. So I'm chopping up this broccoli so that because these are full broccoli florets. So I'm cutting these up so that they're smaller and they will cook faster, because with this in the kitchen with Krystal, the whole goal is for you all to get ideas on how you can eat healthier meals that don't take a lot of time. I want it to be super easy so that we can remove all of the excuses, right, for why we're not eating healthier. So what I'm going to do with these, seeing them pretty similarly, I am going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on here, just a little, drizzle that, and then I'm gonna get my seasonings. So I'm gonna go back. Now I'm gonna give me some garlic and herb. So instead of using the minced garlic, using the garlic and herb, be generous with that. Get my onion and herb, be generous with that. Then because I like a little kick, I'm gonna add a little table blend because it's pepper based. Be real generous with that. Why not put the original blend on there? Look, we get all the seasonings. Be generous with that. But then what I also love on my vegetables, I love some rosemary. rosemary. I can't remember how I stumbled on rosemary one day. I was like, I was trying to be fancy. And I said, I'm gonna try this rosemary. Just right now, just doing that. It just smells so doggone good. And you see, that's why I like to put it in my big bowl, because then I can just toss it to mix, make sure all of the flavors get across all of my vegetables. So now that's on the other side. So one side I have my salmon, the other side I have my vegetables. Gonna throw this into our 400-degree oven, and then we are going to be we're going to get our base, which is going to be some quinoa started as well. All right. So let me grab this. See how pretty it looks. This is the pre, and we're only gonna have to cook this in about less than 20 minutes, so around there, because all you really want is for the salmon to get flaky, and then because you don't want it to be overcooked, and then the vegetables should still have a little crisp to it. All right, so let me get this out of the way. Do a little cleanup, because I can't stand a whole bunch of mess. Get this stuff out the way so that we can get started with our quinoa. So with the quinoa, what you want to do is that you want to make sure you ranch it real good to get all the extra sediment off. So let's do that after I get this mess out of the way. Just look, no, nobody want to eat out nobody's dirty kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, I can't come to your kitchen, come to your house, and you try to cook, and your kitchen is a grimy mess. No, no, thank you. All right. So what we're gonna do is let me go ahead and get my strainer, and this is what I do. Where is my quinoa? So you can decide how much you want to make. I'm probably only going to do about, I don't even know how much I got left up in here. Let's see how much I got. Let's see if I got me a good half a cup. And then that way it'll really cook really fast. Oh yeah, I got me a good half a cup. Y'all. Give me a half a cup. Probably just need to go ahead and cook all that, huh? That's about another quarter of a cup. So we're gonna do about 3/4 of a cup, and I'm just gonna run this under the water to get it rinsed off real good. And like if you look at the instructions, it'll tell you to cook it with water. I don't like cooking it with water. They don't add flavor. I do it with my broth, but I'm gonna tell you this though, I gotta remember how I do it. All right, Oh yeah, there we go. So we're gonna cook it all together. We're gonna boil it. So what we do is, since I did a 3/4 cup of quinoa, I'm going to use my pan a cup and a half of broth. Again, stop expecting the flavors to just come after you cook your grain. That's where you're missing out, because by now the grain is cooked. Whereas if you are doing it with the grain, then it's going to cook the flavor inside of it. So you're gonna get that flavor burst through everything. One, and you don't have to try to flavor season it afterwards. All right. So I got a cup and a half of broth. Now here we go again, seasoning this thing up. So what are we gonna do this time? I'm gonna add a little more thyme. This time I'm gonna add a little more thyme. Yeah. All right, add some thyme, add some oregano. Gonna add some more table, because I will tell y'all I like a little kick. All right, that's my table blend. Can't go wrong with a little onion blend. And then we gonna did I do my garlic? I don't think I did, so I am now. And then what I also like to do with my grain is to add a bay leaf, because that adds a lot of good flavor inside. All right, and since I'm not cooking a lot, I don't need a big bay leaf. All right, then I am going to stir this on up, get those flavors up in there. And now I can add my quinoa to it. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on so it can boil. And then once it starts boiling, we just gonna let it simmer. And right now we have our salmon and onions. We have our salmon and vegetables inside of the oven cooking. So I got this going up nice and hot. Go ahead and clean this up. And while that's doing its thing, because all of this stuff, you also see this too. You don't have to have a mess kitchen. You don't have to stand over the stove. I hear a lot of people say that they don't like to cook because they don't want to have to stand over the stove. It's too hot, blah, 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 blah. This is one of those you get to throw it inside of the oven and go on about your business. And it'll be ready like 15, 20. The only thing that's going to take a little bit more is because I decided to add a base. Now, you can just eat the salmon and vegetables, set it and forget it, walk away. However, I want some grains, and I know a lot of folks like their grains, so that's why I said let's go ahead and add a little quinoa with it. You can do couscous, you can do some rice if you like. And people ask me all the time, Krystal, brown or white rice, doesn't matter. Nah. Honestly, if you look at the nutritional label for both of them, they're pretty simple. Similar. So you don't have to worry about like getting the brown rice only. You can get white rice. And what I just did with the quinoa was seasoning it in the process of cooking it. That's what really helped with adding that flavor, so that you don't have to worry about buying these packs of flavored rice and quinoa and all that stuff that could be adding extra sodium. So instead of doing that, you just go ahead and season it yourself, and you get to control the flavor and you get to control the sodium. And that's so important because too many of us struggle with high blood pressure because we are eating things that have so much sodium included in them. All right, so I just did a quick cleanup, and while this is cooking, because it's going to take a few minutes with it. And that's the great thing about quinoa. It doesn't take a long time to cook either, maybe about 12 to 15 minutes. While we're doing that, I'm going to show you all some options on what you can eat when you have that sweet tooth. Because a lot of people have that sweet tooth, and that's where they struggle as well. So it's not just the sodium, it's the sugar, it's all of that good stuff. And they'll run to what's that? Ice creams and cakes and stuff like that. When really all you got to do is find the healthier version of a treat that's going to give you the same satisfaction of getting that sweetness, but it's not going to completely derail you from what you're trying to do, right? So one of my favorite things, and I've said it before, y'all, I fought it for so long, is the Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is that thing. So what I like to do with Greek yogurt, what I like about Greek yogurt is that it will, whatever flavor palette you give it, it's going to take it. So if you want it sweet, it'll be sweet. If you want it to be savory, it'll be savory. So what I like to do is for a good old healthy snack, especially like a quick post-workout snack. Let me show you. Because it's really about just looking for locating the right thing. So you just sometimes don't know where to look, right? What did I say quickly? I know I'm a fast talker, and I thank you for saying, like, hey, you're talking a little fast. I can't be a fast talker, so apologies for that. And I will say this, y'all, that salmon smells so good. I say it all the time, like, oh, I wish y'all could be up in here to smell what I smell. And I'm going to say it again. It smells so doggone good up in here. Because I smell the garlic. I smell the lemon. Let me take a little looky-loo to see what's going on. Oh, it's looking pretty. Pretty. And I'm going, oh. It's crazy when you stand here, you can just smell it wafting through the oven. Oh, good. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit of Greek yogurt and get the plain Greek yogurt. When you get the flavors, the flavored Greek yogurt, you're adding in a lot of extra sugars, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Okay, so we get the plain Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt is so good because it has the extra protein. The protein is what you need in order to stay fuller, right? And it's also going to help your muscle recovery. So this is one of my favorite things to eat after a good workout. And just to read the nutrition label for you, for 2/3 of a cup, and that's a lot. And I think I might have, I don't even know if I have a half a cup in there. It's only 100 calories, but y'all, you're getting 17 grams of protein. Look at here. Look at here. So why not go for it? Then I know a lot of people like, yeah, I definitely need some more protein in my life. I was actually met with my clients this morning wanting to mention needing more protein in their life. So I'm always looking for new things. Something else I found a granola that has protein in it. Oats and honey. So as you can tell, I told y'all we're making a little dessert. Oh, that's boiling. Let me let that simmer down. Simmer down. Get that to simmer down for a little bit. So it's got a nice little low rolling boil. Get me a little bit of oats and honey, granola. Sprinkle it on top. And this, so for a half a cup, and again, I may have used a quarter of a cup, right? It's 210 calories, and you're getting 10 grams of protein. So just from these two alone, like I said, I didn't use a full cup. So this dessert snack, right now we're at about 200 calories, but we're also at, let's see, I would say about, well, you got a good 20 some grams of protein already up in there. Now, what you can do also is add a little fruity fruit. I love to add like some berries, some blueberries, some strawberries. Don't have any right now. But what you could also do, if you are trying to just get a little, you can add a little honey, right? That honey will grab onto that doggone Greek yogurt, baby. Let me get that up in here. Or what you can do too, add just a few mini chocolate chips, so you can get that little bit of like semi-sweet chocolate chips, and you have a nicer dessert. So look at that. Super simple. Just using like a mini parfait, but this is something that I would love to snack on after I come back from my runs or after my workouts, or even my not even because I'm minimizing, or my afternoon walks that I like to take. So cheers. Or what do you think you eat? I don't know. Look, so doggone simple. That's a good snack. It's gonna have you feeling full for a nice amount of time. Baby, and the salmon smells so good. Baby, check on it to see how it's looking. Because it's been in there now for about what? I've been on here for 18 minutes, so it's been about 12 minutes or so. Let's see. Once again, we don't want it to overcook, but at the same time, we don't want our vegetables to be undercooked. We don't want to overcook our vegetables, because that's another thing that people do. They'll overcook their vegetables so that they no longer have any nutritional value. And you can sit there and say that you're eating vegetables all you want to, but if you cooked all the nutritional value out, why are you talking about eating it? Because you ain't getting none out of it. Now, I will say this. It's not a knock, it's not a shame, because it's way better than eating fried foods, but we are eating so that we can get the fuel that we need that's intended for us to get from these foods. So that's why I say be intentional and be cautious of cooking your vegetables too long, okay? You just came in. Hey, Kimmy. If you're here, say hey. Let me know where you're watching from. So right now, we have some salmon and vegetables on the pan inside of the oven. all I did to season the salmon, got 2 tablespoons of olive oil, added 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. You can chop yours up if you want to, but we try to do things quick and easy around here. The juice of the lemon, and then I added some seasons. I put some oregano, some thyme, I think some table blend, all that other stuff. Now, if you want to use salt and pepper, you can. I'm just not a big salt person, and instead of pepper, I like to use table blend because it's pepper based, right? And then I brushed that, I whisked it together, and then I brushed that on the salmon. Then I chose vegetables that I wanted. You can choose which vegetables you want. I did zucchini, broccoli, green beans, and some peppers. Chop those up so that they're nice and small, so they're cooked faster. Again, we're talking about how to save time. Put those in a big bowl, drizzle them with some olive oil. Then I season them the way I wanted to. I know I used some rosemary, some more table blend, the original blend, garlic and herb, onion and herb. I think some more thyme, whatever you like, so that it is flavorful to you. But that's the thing. I want you to be intentional about trying out the different seasons and flavors, because a lot of times we mess up our diets and our plans by adding way too many sauces and things like that, when you really need to lean more on the herbs and spices to get the flavors, so that you don't feel that you need all the heavier sauces or that are adding extra fat, and could also be adding extra sugars. All right. So while those are cooking, I also, and on the stove top, decided to make some quinoa, because what I'm going to do is, even though you can eat the salmon, excuse me, the salmon and vegetables alone as a meal, I know that people like a grain, so we're going to actually make a bowl out of this. So I'm making some quinoa. Now, where a lot of people mess up again with the quinoa or with any of their grains, they like to season those grains after they've been cooked. So I like to season the grains while they're cooking. So I did a 3/4 cups of quinoa. Make sure I rinsed it off really, really good to get all the extra sediment off. But instead of water, I used 1.5 cups of broth. And in that broth, I added all of my seasons that I wanted to make it nice and savory and hearty. So I added some more table blend. You pick up a thing, garlic and herb, onion and herb. I can't remember what else in it, but what I love to put in my grains is a bay leaf. I cooked that bay leaf inside of it. I boiled it till it got to boil, and took it down to a simmer. So now that grain, that quinoa, whether it's quinoa, couscous, rice, white or brown or jasmine, whatever you're using, when it's cooking, it's going to soak up all of that flavor, so that you don't feel the need to add all the extra stuff afterwards. It's already cooked into it, and you're going to enjoy every bite. All right. So that's all the savory meal stuff. And I'm checking to see how this is looking. It's boiling. It's doing its thing. But then I said, you know what? People like to have a sweet tooth. So what's something that could be considered to be a snack or a dessert? Ooh, because I just got an idea. So I got some plain Greek yogurt. Plain. Because plain Greek yogurt will take on whatever flavor you give it. I use plain Greek yogurt as sour cream, but then I also use it like the dessert you see here. So what I did was, added some granola. I have some oat and honey. Oat and honey granola, that it also has protein in it. So now we're adding extra proteins. That's the great thing about Greek yogurt. And then I literally drizzled. I ain't douse it. I drizzled it with a little honey, just to give a little sweetness, stirred it up, and it's so doggone good. And the idea I just had, if you're an ice cream person, freeze it. So now you can make your own, that's good. You can make your own frozen yogurt. Again, controlling all of the ingredients and controlling the sugars, controlling the salt from what we're eating, all of those things. All right. So let's check on the salmon, because it's been about 20 minutes. So what we want, let me turn this up a little bit. What we want from the salmon is for it to flake apart. Again, we don't want this to be all tough and rough. You don't want that. Ooh, it smells so good. Yeah, buddy. It's not flaking like I want. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Let's see about these vegetables. To me, that's a determining factor. Got that Krystal light. Yep. That took about what? 15 minutes? 20 minutes? Yep. The broccoli got a little brown on the top. Look at this. Look at this. Because we don't want it to overcook. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, pretty. Smells so amazing. Ooh, it's hot. So get in the hot tub. So what you can do is you can do a couple things with this. Again, you can just eat it on its own, or you can make a bowl out of it too. So let's see what this quinoa is doing. Let's see. That quinoa is still cooking, so I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, and I'll post something later so you see what it looks like when we bowl it. But I will go ahead and get this. I was just using it. Make us a plate. Make us a plate of all this veggie and seafood goodness. That's what we're gonna do. Because this is honestly all you need. Ooh, and I like a little roasted, what's that, broccoli? Yeah. Oh, let me get some of these colored peppers, because that was something I mentioned earlier too, is that our bodies, our bellies like to have all of the senses engaged, so how it smells, but then also how it looks. When we have multiple colors, oh, that's so pretty. Our stomach automatically tells itself, well, this is going to be good. So look at that. Oh, so pretty. It's got our peppers in here. We got our broccoli, got our green beans. So you already know, zucchini. You already know I'm going to get one of each. Nice and crisp. Give me some colorful pepper. I'm going to make the peppers a real, oh, there we go. Pepper, green bean, then some broccoli, and some zucchini. Let's see about it. That's the right amount of crisp. That's the right amount of crisp. Yeah. The salmon is flaking. These are perfectly cooked. Amen. And we got dessert. Look. So, quinoa, still doing this little thing, cooking. Get it about 5 more minutes or so. But what you can do is when that's done, use that as your base. Put your quinoa down first. Then put your vegetables on top of that. Then put your salmon on top of that. And then if you want to, you can get a little bit of the extra juice in the sauce that's in the pan. Drizzle that on top, and you got you a full meal. So, I love to be able to show you the entire meal. Sometimes it don't work like that, right? We had some technical issues, but hey, we made it through. So I hope you try this. Easy peasy, because now when we're done eating, there's nothing to clean up. Just grab the foil outside of the quinoa, especially if you're just eating it this way, you're not making the quinoa. You just grab the foil, ball it up, and throw it away. Not even a whole bunch of dishes. So, and that's why I wanted to make this meal to give y'all an option on how to have a stress-free, mess-free meal that's still full of flavor that you'll enjoy. So, I am Krystal Taylor. I hope you enjoyed this segment of In the Kitchen with Krystal. When you make yours, please be sure to tag me. Let me know how you made yours. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, let me know what vegetables you used. All right? So, y'all have a good one. Please join me for the next segment. And if you have to go outside, please be safe. So I just want you healthy. I want you happy. And I want you here. All right, y'all. Bye.